2, they're kind of calibrating the screens because as you know, we had to tear down and build the set every single day, which is crazy, mind-blowing. I still blows my mind. 10 minutes after we walk off stage, there's no set. It's the wildest thing. Anyway, so hey guys.
How you doing?
How are you? Good. Well, it's so nice to be here. We're very excited. We love this part of this experience. Julianne and I, when we first set out to go be on tour, you know, one of our main things, our missions, our goals was to connect with the audience, and we love it, and we love it so much. This is our 3rd tour, and we're so happy you guys are here. Whose first time is it here?
Oh wow, that's a lot. That's
great. Who's been here before? Fantastic.
Amazing.
So, we hope to bring you an even better experience, hopefully. We'll see. We always try to keep up your game. And for those of you, this is your first time, welcome. We're going to have a blast.
Oh, yeah.
All right?
We're going to do the work.
With that said, let's jump in with first questions.
Oh, Lil Miss had one over there. I saw her pop her hand up. When is my wedding? I can't tell you. It is this summer, and I'm super pumped and excited. And yeah, I was actually just on the phone today doing some wedding planning and invitations. That's the hardest part, is the guest list. I don't know if y'all remember that part.
Is hard too.
Seating chart? I'm like, buffet, guys. No seats. No shit. Sorry. He is. He's actually a groomsman, so yeah.
Right.
He would have been a bridesmaid, but I mean, yeah.
I was the best man at Mark Ballas's wedding, and I did the best man speech, and it was one of those things where the night before, because Mark has a lot of friends, like he's one of those guys who just has a bunch of friends, and the night before there was like this event, like a party, you know, reception thing, and a bunch of his friends started doing speeches, and they were really good, and I was like, crap. So I went home and rewrote my speech that night until 3 in the morning, and I was so nervous, I was shaking, but
it was the best speech I've ever heard. It was beautiful. So of course I went up and I was like, yo, you better do something like that for our wedding. I'm your real sibling.
Yeah. My other siblings involved in entertainment? I mean, Julianne and I definitely have made a career of it, for sure. Our other sisters, my whole family are all a bunch of entertainers. You know, growing up, if you look at old home videos, we were in our living room always dancing on the tables, in the kitchen, performing, singing, dancing. My oldest sister was a dancer. That's how we actually got into dancing in the first place. But definitely Julianne and I made it into an actual career, into something we can actually do for a living, as well as something we love. So
old home videos, but current home videos as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they have more energy than both of us combined, and we have a lot of energy. Like, what do you call us? Your beautiful hurricane.
My beautiful hurricane.
Like all the sisters, just
a lot of women.
Crazy.
A lot of women.
Yeah.
I'm the only boy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's it. And only man. I like how she changed
I
that
know.
up. Thank you.
So That's awesome.
I gotta remind myself of that sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Anybody else? Yeah,
go.
right here. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, ladies first. Go.
Okay, thank you. Do you guys have anywhere in Nashville that you recommend hanging out? You film there, you're a country singer.
In Nashville, hanging
Nashville.
out. I mean, to be honest with you, the place where we hang out the most is our sister's house, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Station. Yeah.
But in town,
I like going to Franklin Village because it's less like touristy, where like Broadway is amazing if you want to go out and have fun that night and stuff like that. But like Franklin Square is like it's so cute, and there's fun shops and restaurants and stuff like that. So
Pancake Factory.
I love it. Yeah, it's real good. Real good. Hillsborough
I got a
Village
connection
is
there.
great. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I just have a quick question about your dancing. Did you start with this type of dance, or did you both start with tap, ballet? You know?
We went to a studio in Utah, and it taught all styles. It taught jazz, hip hop, tap. But one of the things that made it unique was that it also did ballroom and Latin.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what made it really unique. And for me, what actually really got me into it, because I was dragged into dancing. I did not want to dance. I was like, "This is for girls." And my mom was like, "You're just gonna go to a class. Come on, like you're just sitting in the car anyways. You might as well go in." And I was like, "Okay."
And then you're like, oh, there's girls.
It's like-
It is for girls. And
I was
didn't
a
know
little
we were.
romantic. I was a little hopeless romantic when I was a kid. Like I would get in trouble at school for kissing all the girls. And in fact, I remember my teacher telling me, she goes, Derek, no, you can't kiss the girls, but you can give them trophies. And I was like, trophies? So I gave him a karate trophy the next day. I was like, here you go. I didn't really understand that. Maybe that's why I like to win, so I can give trophies. I'm just kidding.
You have quite a collection, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. But no, so ballroom dancing was something we got into, and we competed and traveled around the world and had an opportunity to go to London to train and to compete all over and stuff. So that's where we kind of honed in our craft. So yeah. Go ahead, sir.
So I married a dancer.
Uh-oh.
A woman who started dancing at 6, and at 62, I started doing it on the ballroom.
Aw, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
So cool.
As of yesterday, being a 66-year-old, my question to you is, if there's one thing I should concentrate on about dancing, what would that advice be?
Ooh, if there's one thing to concentrate on in ballroom dancing. I would say honestly, I mean, for me as a guy, as a male partner and dancer, it depends on, is it like ballroom or is it like Latin? Ballroom. I would have to say, I mean, obviously the frame is very, very important, and isolation and maintaining this while everything else can move around. I'm trying to think of like a really good tip that could help.
I just know for me as a woman, dancing, even with my dad, who's not a trained dancer, he's one of my favorite people to dance with though, because the way that he leads me, he just moves. And it's not like he's doing the perfect technique or anything, but he can move me and I can follow. And so when he turns me, it's so awesome. Like it's just that feeling of being led by a man. Like that's the best thing on the planet for a woman.
And one of my things I think for me is that I like to dance slightly behind the beat, ever so slightly behind the beat, and that's where I think about. There's nothing I can stand more than somebody who's ahead of the beat, ahead of the music. It's like so frustrating when I watch that. In fact, one of my buddies on the show, he filled in for me. Sasha, who's dancing with Simone right now. He was dancing with Nastia Lukin one day, and they were ahead of the beat. I'm like, y'all a bunch of Russians. I was just teasing. I love him dearly, so but of course we can joke like that. But to be slightly behind the beat, so what that does is it creates speed. When you actually, if you listen to the music, if you think of just being a little bit behind it, then you actually will sit in the pocket. And as a drum, that's what also you want to think about. Exactly, sitting in the pocket, kind of sitting behind it, and that creates speed. Otherwise, if you're just kind of on the beat, always like this, there's no speed. You think you're going faster, but you're actually going, it becomes slow. So there's almost like a little delay because it creates speed.
Yeah, go.
What do you think about the show last night?
Holy moly!
See it.
I literally turned it on right when they were doing the female, the girl band part. So because I was out all day yesterday. So I could not believe that. But I mean, it just goes to show though that audience, viewers, votes. I mean, that is so important because. I mean, they got a 10-10 and then, or 4 times, right? Perfect score, and then.
It's happened to me 3 times.
Yeah, and knocked out.
I've been perfect scores and knocked out.
Yeah.
3 times.
She was so gracious on the TV.
She was, really? I didn't see this morning. I saw her last night. She was gracious,
She
yeah.
said, well, that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Yeah.
She was really so nice.
Yeah, and she did great with Alan, too, and I was really happy for him that he got an opportunity to be on the show and do that, and then, it's such an interesting dynamic, right? Like, you never know. I mean, she was amazing, but
it's up to
you
the
have
audience.
to vote.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorites, by the way?
Derek and Julianne.
No, I mean
Great
this
answer,
season.
sir. Extra
No,
German.
thank you. I like that answer even better.
Val, you're Val.
Val and Normani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met him before.
Sharna and Bonner. What about this season
Well, that's right.
specifically?
That's right. We're
New Jersey.
East Coast.
Simone. Okay.
Simone. I love. I'm certainly rooting for
Sasha.
Sasha and Emma, Rashad and Simone. I just love them as people. They're, for me, the kindest on the show. They're amazing human beings. So
I know.
definitely rooting for them.
Well, I really love the live movies that both of you guys have done, and you know, I was just wondering if there was a moment in filming, Hairspray and Grease, where you guys realized, wow, this is awesome.
Was there? She asked. Was there a moment that when we filmed Grease Live and Hairspray Live that we were like, we said like, oh, was this is awesome?
Every day. Literally
Wow.
every single day. And Derek will say this too. The reason why he ended up doing Hairspray was because he saw my experience on the show and like how much fun I had. It was one of the greatest things I've ever done. I felt like I was 15, 16 years old again, going back to, because we went to performing arts school in London, so it felt like we were back in school learning every single day. We were in this tiny little black box, studio, and we would go in and we'd have singing rehearsals and acting rehearsals and dance rehearsals, and then we would go home and go to sleep and wake up and do it all again.
Sandy.
And it was kind of it was really nice to be a student again.
I was nervous for her because I was like,
It's a big role.
that's a big role.
Yeah.
It is a big role.
But
Sandy,
but
she killed it. She was amazing.
Yeah, Olivia's got nothing over her.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw it, and then she did Hopelessly Devoted, and then she hit a note that wasn't in the original. I was like, yeah, babe. I was like, I was at home cheering. It was so.
But that was, the thing that was so cool about it was that, our tour, we created it, and it's our thing. Or when we're on Dancing with the Stars, we're the coach and stuff like that. So it was nice to be able to just kind of be a student and go in and do your job and have somebody else kind of take care of you for a minute, and we could just do what
Just
we
learn.
did. Yeah,
Just
it
learn,
was
yeah.
really fun.
They were both so good.
Thank you.
Thank you so
How do you
much.
like doing the movies?
I love
You were
movies.
great in them.
Thank you. And it's been a few years since I've been doing acting and some films and stuff. And so after the tour, I'm getting back into it, and
good.
I'm gonna focus again more on film
Good.
and television. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
Besides dancing, what are you guys passionate about?
Travel.
Yeah, I'm passionate about a bunch of things. Sometimes I wonder if I'm passionate about too many things. No, I love adventures. I love going on adventures, and whether it be scuba diving or skydiving or ruins around the world. I love photography. Photography is kind of is a hobby of mine that I absolutely love, and I have been very fortunate to work with some amazing photographers and go on some pretty crazy, dangerous, and exciting expeditions.
He's an awesome artist too.
So.
Painter.
Yeah,
photographer.
things that are creative, things that I like to create things, build things, whether it be photography, art, or whatever it might be. I don't know, but adventure definitely, just for on the vocational aspect.
Me
Definitely.
too, adventure. We love going to the lake and traveling, and we went to Africa last year, and
She drank elephant dung.
Yeah. I was on
you
Bear
guys not see
Grylls.
it?
Did you see Bear Grylls? Yeah. That was amazing.
I was
not the
like-
elephant. Yeah, it was nasty. But
She saved the
everything
snake,
else was
but
amazing.
had to drink that instead. I was like, I would have killed the snake.
What is your favorite style of dance?
Favorite style? Oh, it changes depending on what kind of song it is. Man, each one. For me, I love to tell a story. So when I can hear lyrics to a song and put movement to it, that's, I think, it doesn't matter what style it is, as long as it means something to me. That's the best I think I'm gonna do, is when there's a connection to it. But then of course I love to just shake my hips and do that too. So.
I like the passionate ones, like the dramatic ones, like the tangos and the paso dobles. And those are fun. You like those too? She likes those as well. She's fiery. She's fiery. I see it. Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Favorite thing about touring is honestly this. It truly is. It's one of the favorite parts is get to see and to meet and interact with you guys from the people, and come to your town, come to your city.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, is that when we're on television, we kind of come to you through the television screens into your homes, and this is a chance for us to come, physically and be here, and we love that. We love that experience, and also live, just being live, and you never know what's going to happen, and things go wrong every single night, but it makes it fun, it makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes not so interesting for us.
Sometimes
We're like,
Julianne's
oh
like,
my
yeah.
gosh. The other night, this is our 3rd tour, and I've done it every single tour, but I jump off of one of the levels up there.
She falls off.
And I turn around and my foot slipped, and so I actually was falling. And speaking of adventure and knowing like how to jump off rocks and stuff, I knew the first thing, don't slide down, like push off. So as I was falling, I was like, ha! And then they caught me.
It was a genuine fall, and a few of us got a few
totally
elbows
fell.
and.
Oh yeah, it was a little scary, but yeah. So live can happen, like anything can happen. It's fun. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, 2 things. Can we play golf together?
Can we play
Can we
golf?
play golf?
You don't want to play golf.
You don't play
with
golf
me.
with her. No.
I'm horrible.
I'm not much better either, if I'm honest with you. I'm not bad, but I'm not good. I'm really nothing. I just kind of hit it, and I'm like, that's pretty good, and then that's about it. I progressively get worse. Does anybody else experience that?
Oh, yeah.
That's me with bowling.
That's like me
Yeah.
in any
Me
sport.
in
That's
bowling
why I
too.
gave up golf.
I'll start playing basketball. I'm just like nailing threes, and I'm like, man, I'm pretty good at this. And then 15 minutes into it, I'm like,
I can't even.
oh wait, what happened? What happened?
Oh, and
Terrible.
then if you ever go to Maui, my uncle owns Hike Maui and Upon Maui. I could hook you guys up.
Nice.
Well, I'll tell you
go
what, I'm
Maui.
not good at golfing, but I enjoy golfing, so I'll take you up on that for sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So as a mom, it's a complete blessing to see the 2 of you so tight and close. And you've always been close, and having a son, I have another one as well. They're tight, they're close. What have you guys done to keep you together?
Well, one of the things that we did was we moved to London when we were very young. She was 9 years old. I was like 13 years old, and and so we kind of became like a team. We kind of looked out for each other. With that said, it's actually funny. We've become more like brother and sister in the past
Now.
2 years than ever in our lives. Meaning that we bicker and we tease each other, and like it's pretty funny actually. We're like little kids because we spend so much time with each other.
But I think when we were kids, it was nice to be able to. I mean, we were kind of forced because we didn't have our parents, and so we were like our teammates. We were looking out for each other, and we both were into the same kinds of things. So we were always very encouraging of each other, even competitive, but like also still just very like excited. And we were friends. And then yeah, we're still friends. I mean, we hang out. We have the same friend groups. Like,
yeah, it's
fun.
good. I think one thing too is just being like-minded. You know what I mean? And also like learning and listening to certain things that are similar in the sense that we are able to use certain tools to communicate properly. Where for instance, if I'm in a place where I'm kind of like down in the dumps and I can't quite get out of it, and I'm sort of in this like
on a wave.
I call it a wave where I get on this wave and I just can't get off this wave. I'm like, oh, everything just feels terrible. She's able to sort of communicate in a way that I understand and is able to get me off of that, you know what I mean? Or vice versa. And we can do that for each other, and we can do that with other family members because we have the same sort of vocabulary, if you will. And when you have the same vocabulary, you're able to communicate in a way that, you can have ups and downs, but you in the end will always end up in the same place.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
So you dance, you drum, you play piano, guitar. Is there anything that you can't do?
Yeah. Yeah.
As the sister, go for it.
Jump in, Jules.
He can't seem to figure out how to put his dishes away.
What are you talking about? It's so not true. I don't know what she's talking about.
And then he blames it on his dog.
My dog.
He doesn't have opposable thumbs to open up a jar of salsa and leave it there.
You'd be surprised.
This is the fight that we have.
I'm not really a good great cook. I can't cook. I think if I took my time, I would. I just never took time to learn.
Yeah.
I would be good if I figured it out, right?
Yeah.
One of these, that's all.
You're not at that point in your life yet. Enjoy the adventure.
All good.
Boom.
Yeah.
When you became a judge, were you nervous? Like, was it a weird dynamic for you guys as brother and sister?
It wasn't a weird dynamic when Julianne became a judge. For me, it was weird. I was more concerned about what possibly the people, the public thought.
Right.
They're like, well, what's this? This is kind of weird, or could be unfair, or whatever they might think. But truthfully, for me, I actually looked at it as a handicap. you know,
I thought
honestly.
she was tougher on you.
Yeah, and I wouldn't just say
had to be.
I wouldn't just say that she was tougher. I think Julianne's fair. I think she's very, very fair. It was more of I was concerned of the perception, perhaps, but then after a time, that faded away. But I even said to myself, I was like, I'm probably never gonna have a chance of, going all the way while she's on the show. And then when Bindi Irwin came around, it was like she was so special and so unique that she was amazing. So
I think, and for me, like yes, he's my brother, but then I was really close to Mark Ballas, and I'm close to Emma and Sasha, and I love Peta and Sharna and Lindsay and Whitney. I taught them when they were kids. They were my students, and so and Jenna. So like, as much as he's my brother, like they're all still my friends too. So, at the end of the day, I always just look at it as a couple and as a team, and I'm really focusing on the celebrity. And at the end of the day, unless I'm like, yo, y'all are being lazy, I know you can do more than that with your partner. So yeah, so yeah, it's not bad. Why did Allison leave?
Sorry?
Allison Holker.
Allison Holker?
She had a baby, and then I think
I think
sometimes you just want to take a season off.
Things are different. I think as far as production goes, I think there's certain things that come into play. With certain partners, certain personalities.
Matching.
They're like, this partner would be really good for a good example. Sasha is a great example. For the longest time he was on the pro, and a lot of that is because there just wasn't anybody sort of his stature. But now the past couple seasons, Simone is perfect size for him and perfect partner, and it just goes. There's lots of different things that go into play. So you never know for sure.
So you have your new show. Do you think that will be back on Dancing with the Stars?
Maybe. For me, I'll never say never. I've always been such a huge, advocate and positive promoter for Dancing with the Stars, and I've always only been positive with the show, and I love it dearly. So I'm always going to be a part of it in some way. We'll see what happens. I think I'm looking forward though to my new show on May 30th. Check it out. I'm excited for you guys to see it. It's fantastic. The dancing's unbelievable. It's incredible. And I hope you enjoy it. It's gonna be fun.
Does JLo know how lucky she is to have you?
It's funny. She does. No, it's funny because
She's stolen a few of his lines.
She actually said to me. She actually said like that. I was kind of her first, idea to be a part of the show, and she was very kind, very gracious when I said I would be a part of it. And yes, there were a few moments when I would say something, and then she would kind of go, "That's a good idea," and so she would say it. I was like, "Wait a minute, that was my thing. Hold on." I'm just kidding.
Singing in the Rain is still on the back burner?
It is on the back burner. I don't know what's happening. I think what happened was
that. Right?
I think what happened was the Weinstein Company. Honestly, I don't know for sure, but I feel like they just have been rethinking their theater department. So I think that's what it is. So. Me too. But out of my hands. But good timing though, because of that, all these other things have opened up. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Okay, you had one real quick, right? Go ahead. Stage
Every
fright?
night.
Not stage fright, but stage nerves. Like, this might be TMI, but like I get nervous pee, so I have to like go like literally like 17 times in like 5 minutes. Like it's crazy.
He's like, that is TMI.
Too much information.
He's
but
like,
I do, and like I'm like I get so nervous, and then the minute like we get up on stage, it goes away. Yeah.
Yeah, for me. It's when the music starts. Definitely. There was one more real fast. Yes.
Right
Yes.
here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Love-hate. There's definitely a few dances, but it's the association. And I was saying that to some of my dancers earlier before we did our first show, because I know there was a few dances that felt a little not right, and I didn't really enjoy dancing.
In your body.
In my body, it didn't feel good. And I said, listen, I know there's dances that don't feel good, it's not your favorite, but it's up to you to change that. You can't just hope and wait for you to feel good about this dance. And you have to associate positive feelings to it. And that's actually the way I coach a lot of times as well, is I noticed that when I was being a certain way, then my partner wouldn't be getting it, and I'd be like, why isn't this clicking? And I realized it wasn't her, it was my approach. that wasn't, I was connecting a negative feeling or a negative experience to that move. And so even if she did it wrong, I started to learn, like, I would be like, that's amazing, it's so good, and it was terrible, but I'm like, it was so great. But then what happened is that she started to associate a positive feeling to it, and then therefore connected to it better. So for me, yes, there's definitely dances that I am like, oh, but it's up to me to change that, to change the way I feel about it.
Even just as simple as like, I remember like the last couple tours, like the first dance after the intermission, I was like, I hate this dance so much. But every night I'd be like, all right, I'm so excited, my favorite dance, woo woo, yeah. And like, of course I totally didn't mean it, but then by the end of it, it kind of became my favorite dance. So yeah, it's just all kind of how you
have association.
Yeah.
Do you ever go back to competing?
You too.
All right, because we keep going. Would we ever go back to competing? Probably not.
Oh, wait, like Latin dancing?
Well, would you like ever like compete again on dance?
Oh, compete again on dancing? Probably not. Like I said before, like I want to continue doing movies and producing.
You're beyond that now, both of you.
I still watch movies like every day.
Really? Awesome. Thank you.
You know.
So before we
I watch your movie too.
Before we leave, we have one thing that we've done, and if you've been here in the past, you get it. But you guys are our VIPs, our VIPs, and
Yes.
so you guys are the ones that are going to set the tone for everybody else in the theater tonight.
So one of our mantras is motion equals emotion. The way you move directly affects the way you feel, and we really truly believe that. And so we want you guys to enjoy the show. You can sit back, watch it. And some of you, if you feel like it, feel the
Wanna
spirit,
get up and
or
jump
feel it,
around?
just get up, jump up and down, dance. Very encouraged. So at the beginning, because you guys are gonna be at the front, we want you guys to set the bar, to set the tone of the rest of the audience. And so we're going to ask you a question, and when we do, we would love if you guys joined us and joined in this party, if you will, the celebration of dance. Jump up out of your seats, scream, shout, shake your hands, yell as loud as you can, and then the rest of the audience are going to be like, dang, they're all having a blast. Shoot. And they're going to be like, well, I want to have what they're having. All right, I'll get up too and have fun.
I'll get the VIP next time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we're going to ask is we're going to say, you gonna film?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's gonna film it. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's
you
a little
want to
bit more
be on
pressure.
my Instagram? Yeah.
So remember, we're jumping up, going crazy, scream, shout, loud as you possibly can. You ready? On the count of 3. Here we go. So I'm gonna ask this question at the beginning of the show. Are you ready to move? And we go. Oh!
Not yet.
Don't worry about it.
So you don't have to get up.
Don't worry about it. Here we go. Are you ready to move? Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Have fun.